we went to a seminar, but then she started saying, okay, at least start reading. Like,
Yeah,
because I used to
yeah.
hate school, so I used to hate reading. And so I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Right? And I was like,
Robert
interesting.
Kiyosaki.
Yeah. So it was weird that I went to the seminar and it was about Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, snaps.
It was a trip. And like they started
Or
digesting
did she plan it, or was it a trip?
What? Thank you for telling me. I don't know. Maybe she did plan it.
All right, guys. Welcome to Beer Talks. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Luis.
And today we have our special guest, Luis, who jumped the gun, but it's cool.
Yeah.
This is our good friend, Luis. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Luis Padilla, as you guys could, I jumped the gun. But I'm a realtor. That's what I love to do. I also like to dance. I like to go to gyms. I like to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So you guys know this is our jefe, our team leader for the Padilla Group. So we're gonna be interviewing him, picking his brain, just talking about just talking about just talking about different things that's going on in the industry, who he is, how he got started, things like that. Things that you guys would love to know about him, but maybe you don't.
All right, but before we do that, we got beer to try.
Yes, sir.
So Nick did the pleasure of bringing us Firestone Walker 805 Cerveza.
This is Firestone Walker's twist on a Mexican beer.
Yeah, it's basically white people colonizing us again.
I love it. Okay, so let's get it started.
Here, you do the honors.
All right.
It sounds like he's already had a couple.
Hey, someone's ready.
We may need to cart him off in a little bit.
All right, so before we pour, I saw a TikTok video this week.
Okay.
And they said the way we pour is the wrong way to pour. So they said instead of going like this, you're supposed to start off like this, and then you're supposed to go down the middle, and you're going to get foam. But the foam isn't necessarily a bad thing. Right? See, that was perfect.
I
was ready for it to go. So you're supposed to let it settle.
Oh, interesting.
Because what you do when you pour the other way is that all that foam is still in the beer. So then that when you drink it, you're just putting the foam in your belly.
Oh, interesting.
So, but this way, you're actually releasing that foam.
Yeah, but see, that takes way too long. You're telling me I have to
wait 10
minutes?
Or you just take it, and then you just
drink it like that?
You still drink the foam.
Yeah. Let's see, how is it? Should we pour like that?
I guess I'm done to try it. But I don't know if I'm going to do it. Let me see it like this.
Let's see. Now we're all...
I think you're about good right now.
Hey, this reminds me a little bit of a beer fest.
Which to me...
You saw Beer Fest on the movie?
Because to me, it kind of makes sense, because at a bar, they normally serve you the beer with a little bit of foam.
Well, I mean, because it's a lot of beer, usually. There's always foam.
Well, let's see. All right, so let's go over it. Salud, guys.
Salud.
The first is little
805 cervezas.
Little smell. Do you smell the lime?
Barely.
It smells like a michelada.
Yeah, it smells like a Mexican beer.
Yeah,
it smells a little funkier.
A little, I would say, a little stronger than the Pacifico.
Yeah, this smells a little bit more like piss.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's try it.
Let's take it.
Okay. I like it.
It's pretty good.
I think I still prefer a Pacifico.
I told him to bring one for next time. Drink another one.
Interesting. I feel like it's too forced with the lime. Like, it's not like subtle. Like, I feel like it's like when they want to make a candy Mexican, they add lime in.
Right. It's the what's the word? Where they take over the industry. They do that.
I don't know.
Like Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very Americanized.
I mean, it's good. It's just I prefer.
Yeah. But you know what?
I prefer real.
But have you tried the other 805 though?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I do like the 805s.
Yeah, 805s are good. I think they're trying too hard with brewed with lime.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to have I think the reason why it's called Cerveza is because they're trying to make it more of a, like you guys said, Hispanic beer.
Yeah.
Because you do taste a little bit of Corona, a little bit of Modelo, probably even Victoria, but it's an early 5.
Yeah.
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 I see that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Obviously,
It is smooth. If you can bypass the strong lime, I think it is pretty good.
I mean, it's not the worst.
It's definitely not. Look, cerveza equals beer.
Yeah. Oh, translation
For the
for the white people. The translation.
Cerveza
Cervezas equals beer,
Let's
people.
put it right here.
This one says properly chill.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is different?
Yeah, they're different, I guess. They're like back in the day when you were kids, you had the popsicles, they had a little message on them. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's funny. So let's go through it. What would you guys rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? For the most part, we've been in like the 7, 8 ranges.
Yeah.
That Hefeweizen last time
I think that
was
was 8.
fire.
Which one?
We had one with our other guest that was like
Cali Squeeze.
Yeah.
I actually ended up buying some more.
Did you?
I had my wife down.
So
I'll give this like a 6.
Yeah. I was giving it a little bit more like 6.5 to 7.
I'll give it 6 and a quarter.
Yeah.
I'll give it 6 and a quarter.
What'd you say?
I think maybe like 7.
Like a 7?
This is my first time.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Because I feel like
so 10 would be 10,
like
10 would be like your favorite beer, the best you've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean maybe like 7.5. I guess. Because you know what? I give it props because I tasted 805 and it's a little bit like IPA.
Yeah.
Obviously.
A little bit stronger.
Yeah. And I mean they got it down pretty well for it to be an 805.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I wouldn't go out of my way again to buy it, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, if this was the only thing on the shelf, I'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. So that's our beer intro.
Alright guys, welcome back. So we're here with Luis. As Nick said, he is the team leader for the Padilla Group. And so tell us about yourself, Luis. What got you into real estate? What was do you remember that day when you first said, you know what, let me do some real estate?
Yeah. How'd you get started?
It's a little bit complicated actually, and kind of long.
But give us the short version.
No. I mean,
well, we'll make
we got nothing but time.
Or give us the Luis version.
I'm not gonna say like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's good, like maybe.
Okay.
I can make it into like 4 minutes.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool.
No.
Yeah. Story time.
Bro, the floor is yours.
Perfect. So, I felt that when I started working, actually at a very young age, I had a boss that had plenty of real estate.
Okay.
And I was time traveling, and I to myself, I was like, man, like me and my dad work so hard, and he's the one like taking all the trips. So I always wanted to live like the best life and be able to fulfill myself in accomplishing the most that I personally can.
Okay.
Not compared to nobody else, but the most that I can. And
it's Luis versus
Luis versus Luis. And I always told myself, like, what can I accomplish? And I always told myself, like, you know what? The boss at that moment has a bunch of houses, right? He has his own business. We used to work for it or whatever. So I always wanted to, learn how to do that. So I also was very curious. But funny thing, obviously, I wasn't born here. So I feel like
You don't say.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't get educated enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important, especially like for myself in the Hispanic Latin world, that we don't get educated enough and don't understand all the possibilities. We think we have to go to school and we need to get a good degree to possibly get a good job.
Well, it's not just that we think that. Sometimes we're taught that, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere you see, they say,
100%.
go to school,
To get a good
college
job.
degree, get good grades to go to school, to get your good grades, to get a job, to make good money. And to be,
but it's always get a good job.
Yeah.
They never talk about the people creating the jobs.
Right.
You know, so for myself, I was always kind of like, very curious on how I could, do that. But one thing is that I used to hate school.
Yeah.
So I hated school. And not that I hated school, it's just I feel like I got like kind of bullied and I got, so it was kind of like, it made fun of because English was my second language. I came at, I came in elementary, so it was kind of hard for me to understand English and be able to speak it properly. So that made me hate English because, I didn't get the opportunity to really try to learn it well before people were making fun of you. And, I feel like little kids are mean sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
They'll make fun of you for the dumbest things.
Yeah, like you get a new haircut.
Your hair's curly.
Yeah. Dude, my own kids make fun of me now, and they're like 2 and 3. You know
when I was little, dude, they used to make fun of me because of my skin color, because I'm darker than most Hispanics.
Yeah,
and I got made fun of.
Yeah,
that's funny.
They find anything to make fun of you, and like for myself, it was just a little bit challenging. So I used to hate to read, but I was really good at math. But anyways, fast forwarding things, I started telling my girlfriend, that's not my fiance, my wife now at the time. I know. Erase that.
So let's go back. Your fiance was now
my wife that was my girlfriend at the time, right? So she I started telling her like, hey, I'm thinking about doing real estate, and at that moment, like, I had different businesses. Like I did screen printing, I had a clothing brand, I had a working out thing. I did a lot of stuff. I used to sell candy. Yeah, I used to sell candy in high school. Like this guy remembers. Yeah. I used to do it all, bro. Like I always wanted to figure out how to level up, and I used to always say like, as you're going in life, it's a little bit cloudy. You don't know where you're going, but if you take one step at a time, you can't see the future, but you could see the next step, and you gotta take it. And honestly, it's so true. What basically everybody says, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. But the most important thing is just trying it out. The faster you try it out, the faster you understand that it's not for you. For sure. Or if it is for you. 100%. But when you try it out, go all in into it. Because if you just try it out and you dip in your toes and be like, it's not for me. No, it's not. That is not for you, because anything could be for you. Like there's a lot of people that are very successful in every single career. But why? Because they're passionate about it. Yeah. When you're passionate about something, you don't mind doing it 18 hours of the day. Yeah. And when you don't mind doing something 18 hours a day, there is no way nobody in that industry will take you out. Yeah. Because with our reality, now it's even easier to become successful. Yeah. Because people are nothing but lazy. That's just the truth. That's the way I see things. And I always tell my team, well, you guys, like, dude, that's good that people are lazy. That gives us the advantage to even take it to the next level. Yeah. Right? Sure. So, anyways, with that being said, I had so many things going on. And actually, my first broker, he told me, like, I was doing shirts, screen printing. And one of my boys told me that he wanted shirts. So I did screen printing for his company. There's a real estate company. And then after that, when I gave him the shirts, I was all on shorts and, because I was always gym ready, like, bah. And then these guys were on suits. And they're like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? And I was like, well, I got time. All right. So I went with these guys. So I went with these guys, and it was 3 of them. They had suits on. Now I had shorts. And I remember, I was like, damn. Like, it felt different because I always was so used to being around, meatheads, and all that
gym
stuff.
People.
Gym people, that for me was kind of like, damn, I'm changing it up a little bit. And that's the first time they actually told me, hey, do you want to be in real estate? And that was like in 2016.
Wow.
You know, so, but at that moment, I had just started network marketing. I had my screen printing business.
Yeah.
I used to work with my dad. Dude, I had no time. And without honesty, I was making okay money. Like, because I already had, I was already making shirts for all the gym businesses in the whole valley.
Okay.
Hardcore Fitness, Fox Fitness, TSN, a lot of the little small shops in San Fernando. So I had a lot of connections, and I had like 6, nutrition stores selling my brand. Yeah. So I had it locked, and I was just too busy. And when they invited me to do real estate, I liked it, but I felt like it was another type of network marketing. I never really understood what selling real estate really was. But for me, I was like,
another sales
this
job.
Is the truth.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I mean, damn, I'm flattered, but it's because I was getting so many people that wanted me to do private America. They wanted me to sell insurance. They wanted me to sell life insurance. They wanted me to sell this. They wanted me to sell that. They wanted to sell medicine. And it got to the point that there was just certain things. Like I started doing RX. It's a network marketing company, and I liked it, but I just felt like it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Like I did start selling. I started leveling up a little bit. I started hitting certain ranks. And at that point, it was the first time I drove a Lambo. Well, I won a prize, so they let me drive a Lambo with a guy that had a Lambo. So I didn't drive it, but I was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
You were in a Lambo.
I wish I would have drove it, you know?
You touched the steering wheel.
Yes, I touched the steering wheel. But anyways, and they kind of always push you like, whoa, there's nothing like RX because you could actually buy like network marketing because you actually buy expensive cars. In real estate, if you buy something expensive, they're going to think you're doing too good and they might not want to sell. Like, it was weird at one point. But anyways, with that being said, I always wanted to do real estate. And, but for whatever reason, just never really happened. Well, fast forward 2 years, since that's 2000, basically 15, 16, that I sat down with this guy to sell them the shirts. I actually went to a seminar.
Okay.
And my wife now, she was like, we were actually going to dance practice, and she was like, hey, let's go to a seminar. And I was like, are we gonna go to practice or are we going to a seminar? As a matter of fact, we even got in a fight that day because she was being undecisive. I was like, dude, I need to get off right here. Do you want to go? Yes or no? So she finally said, yeah, let's go. So we went.
Wait, what type of seminar was it?
Well, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
So
hold your horses.
Now, obviously,
I love it.
My wife always wanted me to do better in life. I was doing good, but she was always like, you gotta get educated. You gotta go to school.
Yeah.
That's the type of wife you want.
Exactly.
Maybe become an engineer because I love math.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Engineer is nice. I tried to go for school. I swear to God, 3 days in that class, dropped out. I couldn't. School was not for me, man.
So I went to college to be a doctor, right? So that was my original plan. And one of the reasons why I stopped was just like, fuck, man, you're going to have 10 years of school before you actually become a doctor? I was like, nah, screw that.
I mean, I don't even want to get into all the taxes. But, whatever. Well, with that being said, and then the loans and all that. Well, with that being said, after that, we went to a seminar, but then she started saying, okay, at least start reading. I used to hate school, so I used to hate reading. And so I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Right? And I was like,
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah. So it was weird that I went to the seminar and it was about Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Interesting.
It was a trip. And they started digesting it.
Did she plan it or was it a trip?
What? Thank you for telling me. I don't know. Maybe she did plan it.
That's funny.
Maybe she did plan it. I really don't know. But it was about Rich Dad Poor Dad. Because the thing is that her goal and dream was to start a studio.
Okay.
And that's crazy to look back at where we're at.
Yeah, bro.
And then look at now.
Like now where you're at.
Living it.
And So anyway, we went in it. And once they started going more into real estate, they kind of started emphasizing real estate a lot more. Real estate. And I was like, what the heck am I doing? Because Well, again, that's more of another story. But I was just working all day, bro, and I love working. So I'm like addicted to working. I don't mind working all day, but I was just busy from the morning I woke up all the way till 11, 10 a.m. p.m. So it was just crazy busy. So I just said to myself, screw it, I'm gonna start doing real estate. So I remember that was like on June.
Wow.
I contact my ex broker, or the guy that my first broker actually, and I contacted him and was like, I'm gonna do real estate. Since that day on, I basically sold all my machines from screen printing.
Wow.
I sold everything,
cool.
and I just kept the job with my dad until I got the license. I started door knocking and promoting my ex broker because I already had my license. Door knocking, so I got my first deal before I even got my license. And it was, I think it was one of my uncles. I remember, and I got my license that December like 30th, no, November 30th, and I opened up escrow like November 20 with my uncle. I'm like, oh, shit, I should have waited like a couple more days.
Yeah.
And we closed escrow literally like 20 days after I got my license.
Yeah.
So it was like pretty interesting. And then as soon as I closed escrow, I just straight out said, screw my job. I don't need a job. I'm going to do real estate. All in.
Damn.
Honestly.
So what happened to the t-shirt business?
I sold it.
Yeah? That's crazy.
Yeah, I just sold it. I mean, now I kind of want to bring it back.
Oh.
Just because I like to, now I want to have a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
But not that I want to bring it back because I'm going to start doing real estate,
Yeah.
Like,
Just
to add to it. But I love real estate. Obviously, there's a lot of little obstacles that happen with the
along
first
the way.
year and a half. Like, it was hell, but I went all in.
Yeah. That's cool, bro. I love that story.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so cool because I think, like, for me, I never heard your full story of how you got into real estate. And I mean, we talk almost on the daily.
Yeah.
And so it's encouraging to know, like, there is a beginning, right? And, like, you're in your journey, and now see where you're at with the team, with production, like, all of that happened, and it wasn't, like, a smooth course.
No,
like, it was, like...
It's always been like that. And I feel like that kind of has helped me to where I'm at, in the sense, because I was very, like...
Another beer, please.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Quick beer break. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back.
Sorry, we had
to get more beer.
A little bit more beer. This, honestly, guys, this is a great conversation, and I really appreciate Luis being here, bringing some story. Hopefully, this inspires one of you guys. Like, you know what I mean? It's not always an easy beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody thinks, it's easy, and if you come into this business, especially real estate, thinking that it's going to be easy, you're going to make millions.
I was going to tell you to try the other way. See how that,
I did do
the old way.
Oh, the old way?
Let's see the difference.
Oh, shoot.
I'll try the old way.
Yeah. Keep it, no foam. Master pours.
Look at this.
Someone likes to drink.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of foam.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
I went all out so I could taste the difference.
Yeah.
Salud. Back into this great conversation. Does taste a little bit better.
Bubbly. This feels more bubbly.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Not as flat.
What's that? Or you don't feel the difference?
I don't know, guys. Honestly, my taste buds is a little bit.
It's like, I'm already feeling it. Let's just keep it going. This is awesome. So now that we kind of got your whole backstory of like how you got started, all these things, let's kind of get into some like a little bit more fun topics. What is that one? What's your one favorite thing, or not one favorite thing? Or what's your favorite thing about real estate right now? What do you love about what you do?
I love to be able to help people. Honestly,
that's what's up.
Like, I feel like being able to educate people and them not understanding all the possibilities of being able to buy a house.
Yeah.
And be able to mentor them, because I feel like there's only so much you could do for people to say, you changed my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you made my dream come true.
Yeah.
And real estate is one of them.
100%.
Real estate is one of them. Real estate is that thing that people come up to you and be like, damn, you made my dream come true. Yeah. Especially if you do things that not other agents could have done.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a game. I gotta figure out who wants to buy or sell and figure out ways to make it happen, right? And I think that's what I'm good at. I'm good at. You talk to me for a good amount of time, and I could find you a solution. Obviously, there's certain things that you just can't do.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it depends on the market, right? It depends on what's going on.
I mean, it depends more on the person. Like, if you don't have money and you don't have a job and you have bad credit, there's no way I could help you.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Or you just don't like the solution, right?
You know,
like we got a solution
or
for
we
you.
Gotta wait.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just may not like my answer right now.
I have a solution for you, but you have to come up with 20% down.
Yeah, exactly.
But so there's always a way, but it just depends. So my goal at that point, if it's like no way, it's like, well, let's find a roadmap. Like,
100%.
Even if
I love
takes
that. Yeah.
2 years, right? I'm still gonna be in business. I always tell them that.
Yeah.
And two years from now, guys, if I could reassure a transaction today, in 2 years from now, I'll be thanking myself. Like, thank you, Luis.
Yeah.
You got me
right when you're gonna need that deal, you're like, you know what? 2 years ago, I helped this person, and now they're ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the
100%.
truth. And that's what I feel like. People can't hang in the real estate because they can't understand that it's not about you. Yeah. It's not about making money. It's not about that. The money it's the reward that you do by doing what you're supposed to do. Right? Money is the reward. But it's not about making money in real estate. It's about helping enough families with their dreams, finding a solution. Because me and you could have the same amount of friends, the same amount of people that knows us. You could talk to them, and then I could talk to them. And then if you don't know something, and that's why I always believe it's important to understand that you gotta know as much as you can, educate as much as you can,
for sure,
and be able to understand. Be like a sponge, absorb as much as you can, and be addicted to learning more to be able to help people. Because if you don't know something, you can't help somebody do something.
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
That's gonna be a hashtag.
You know, if you don't know something, you can't help somebody do something. Which means, if you don't know something and somebody has a problem, and you don't know how to solve the problem, you lost the deal.
Yeah.
But if I know how to solve the problem, I just didn't gain one deal, but I gained their whole family and their future deals.
Yeah.
How many transactions could that be?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So now people wonder, like, how are you doing so well? Well, I helped so many people, went out of my way, went above and beyond to prove to them that I'm the realtor they got to go to all the time and show them I care.
Yeah.
You know, and then with that being said, deals just start coming to me without me having to look for them. Because it's just the natural of the game. Now, if every year you add, let's just throw a little small number, 50 or 100 people to your pipeline, and that you're helping 50 to 100 people a year, every single year you're going to keep adding more because you have more people in your pipeline. Because if out of 100 people, 10 refer you, right? That's 110.
Yeah.
But now you have, and then within the whole year you add another 100, now you're at 210. But if it was only 10%, now you have 20 people refer you. Well, actually 21 because of the 10.
Yeah.
Compound interest.
There you go. Exactly.
Exactly. So there's no way in real estate you could do worse. This is why it gets to a point that I personally see a lot of great agents that hit their 10-year mark, maybe 15-year mark, whatever years they want to, and they want to chill because they just focus on the referrals, right? But this is where they just kind of hit a plateau. Because in real estate, you still got to go get it. Now, don't get me wrong. Being in 10 years, you're gonna do very well, better than most people. But if you really want to be that number one, you have to go get it.
Yeah.
So I love that. That wasn't scripted, by the way, even though that's what we preach.
Yeah. That's the point of the podcast, right?
Yeah, we've literally
educating people and
that's
helping people.
And now you guys can see why we decided to partner with Luis Padilla, the Padilla Group, is that we share the same vision for helping people, educating, being that resource for everybody. So I really love that.
Yeah, it's the new wave of real estate agents. No longer you got those sales agents that are just trying to make a sale without doing really much for you. You know what I mean?
So
guys, and if you guys had a bad experience, hire us.
Yeah.
You will never want to leave.
Exactly.
Sure,
so that leads me to my next question. Actually, that's a perfect segue. Is what is the one thing that you hate about real estate?
What do I hate?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What do you hate about real estate? Like, what's something that you can say?
Or what do you dislike?
Yeah. What do you dislike? What bothers
you? What frustrates you?
That's a good word. What bothers you about our industry or about real estate in general? Like, if you can say, you know what, this is the one thing that I really just don't like about our industry.
Damn, that's a good question. I never. See how much I love real estate?
Off the cuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
Unfiltered, bro. This is
just let it go. Let it go.
No. The reason why I'm thinking like so hard, to be honest with you, is because it kind of is challenging. Because it's like per scenario. Does that make sense? Like one of the things that bothers me is that sometimes it's not your fault as a realtor, and there's things that are not in your power. Like there's really things that are not in control. Like you can't control that the client decided to buy a brand new car in the middle of escrow and they don't qualify anymore. And you know, and
take the advice of your real estate agents, guys. Take the advice.
You know, and then it's my fault.
Don't go buy something that's gonna be crazy and put you over that limit.
So there's certain things like that. You know, I felt like when I first started doing real estate, one of the things that I really hated the most was when other people messed up. That when you're a brand new agent, you don't really know who's the best in what.
Yeah.
So you start, for example, title. You know, you started, everybody starts going to lenders, bam, escrow, bam, everything. Yeah. They start telling you, and you're like, oh my God, I never had this before. Right. Let me go with this person because you're new to the business.
Right. You don't know who's good or who's bad.
And you know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point that, you know, especially when you're new, you feel like, well, who else do I trust? This is my lender or my, you know, and I felt like in the beginning, I also made a couple of mistakes. Even the broker, you know, you'll be surprised. Even your own broker, when you don't know in the industry, you don't know like what's out there, right? So you don't know if they're doing a good job. You don't know if you're paying too much. Right. You don't know if you're paying what you deserve. Like it's just so many things.
For sure.
So what I don't like about the industry, especially for new agents, is that it's hard already not getting paid enough because you have a smaller cut because you're barely learning. And on top of that, you don't have clients. Yeah. Like, you know, for me right now, if I have to make a cut on one of my commissions, I really don't care. Why? Because I have more, right? But when you're a brand new agent, that one deal that you have matters everything. And then on top, you know what I'm saying? And then when you don't have control in it and you trust the lender that tells you he's qualified, and you're like, yeah, and you spend showing them houses for 3 months.
And they're not really qualified.
You put them in escrow, and they fall down, and then the client looks at you like, what the heck? And you're like, I know, that's what I'm saying, you know? And what happens there?
And then you hate to say, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that is one of the most frustrating things when you start, I feel, that I used to hate about real estate. Now I know how it is. I have my team now. Like that's why it's kind of hard because now it's like, Well, I don't hate anything.
You're like, all of it.
My deals are closing.
Yeah.
There's nothing that my deals are gonna fall off. But I mean, there is times, and I feel like very minimum times that maybe we lost a client or two for whatever reason. Maybe we didn't show them enough houses, which I think we have a great team, and we have a great like way. And me personally, I would hire myself any day if I was a buyer or a seller, because I feel like I go above and beyond, and I have a great team too. In case I'm not there or I can't show, I have somebody else making sure that they're consistently showing. And when it comes to negotiation, I believe I'm a shark on that too.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that all my clients get the best deal, all my clients get the most amount of money, and obviously as I have been in the business longer, I understand more about the business. But other than that, I mean, I think that's all it is, because I can't say when clients hit me up at 8 p.m. because I really don't mind.
Yeah.
I really don't mind that.
Yeah.
I love doing this. I truly love doing this. Like, I could do this all day long.
So, another quick question, kind of leading into that is, before you got licensed, before you got licensed, before you got into real estate, what was your perception of realtors, or did you even have one? Like, how did you see
you
realtors?
Don't even want to tell me that.
Yeah, no, I'm curious to know
And
because
has it changed?
Yeah, how's that changed now that you are in a real estate position? So, what was your view before, and how's your view now?
So, trip out on this, okay? So, in 2010, I had the opportunity to buy a house.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
In Silmar.
Oh.
Okay, in Sayers Street. I still see it. I used to pass by.
You still drive by?
Yeah.
I used to pass by that house every single time. It was a small little 3-bedroom, 1 bath in the front with a garage entrance, and then there was a detached garage that was converted into a studio for $159,000.
No. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
What's that worth now? $800K?
No,
probably 9.
No. It was a permitted. The back.
Oh.
So I mean, it is a 3-1. So let's talk about 650, 700. About realistic because it's unpermitted.
Yeah.
But my point is that, at that point I didn't have my social good because that was right before the work permit, the DACA, and my dad either. So again, you come into this country a little bit afraid because you don't know who's gonna screw you over. So I had this bad agent. I looked him up. I don't mention names. I don't know. He's probably not even in the industry.
We can bleep it out.
Yeah. But anyways, I felt like he didn't do a good job. Like I remember, bro. He told me you just need 10% down. I made the math, 14,000. Okay, the payments were gonna be like 1,300, bro.
1300, which back then was substantial.
I guess, bro.
But not even dude. Back then,
it's still substantial.
I guess it was.
Like,
but I even passed it out.
Yeah.
I even said, okay, I'm gonna have my rent. My uncle live in the front, and I was gonna stay in the back.
Yeah.
And
see, for him to think that was substantial.
Yeah.
No, but I was, bro. Yeah. That was 2010. That was 12 years ago. I'm just turned 30. I was 18.
That's what I'm saying. That's substantial.
That's crazy.
That's a big amount.
Not for my dad, though.
Yeah.
Whatever. I guess for me it was, but so I got so pissed because we didn't get that house. I decided to get a car. I got a Genesis.
But what went wrong?
What do you mean?
What went wrong on
How
the
come
deal?
you didn't
How
get
come
the-
you didn't
yeah.
get it?
The agent didn't educate us. Like, he kind of found a bunch of excuses. Like, you got 10% down, and he didn't read. I feel like if he would have been more on top of us,
He could have pushed harder and made it work.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Like, he wasn't a good agent. He didn't follow up.
Wow.
So and I was asking him a lot of questions, and then right on the corner of my house, the same thing. That was 2 years later, 2012, and the house was going for. It was a beautiful house. I remember it. Like, the entrance had a side, it had a master. I was even thinking about living in the master, renting the rest of the room because it was a 4-3, and It had a big living room. It had a side entrance. Everything was great for 350. That house is 900.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That house is 900, 850, 900. So yeah, I missed that one too, and I was just pissed. I ended up getting a 2000 and that at that time was a brand new car. Well, on the smaller house, a 2010 Genesis coupe, the 3.8.
Nice. So,
and I ended up spending the same amount of money.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, because think about it,
Yeah.
gas, insurance.
So
my
I mean,
age,
yeah.
and-
So now look at knowing what you knew back then, like now in your position, like what's your perspective of realtors? In a general view.
I feel like it's important who you work with.
Yeah.
I truly feel like it's important who you work with. A lot of people think that they could just hire any realtor, or they try to go with discount agents. I don't do discounts because I know my value. I know that I put in my heart and soul. I know that any moment, anybody that could call me right now, if I don't answer, I'll call them back. And there's so many realtors that don't answer. There's so many realtors that don't really put in the work.
Yeah.
So for myself, I feel like it's important who you work with. I feel like every realtor is not created equal.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I feel like, it's important who you work with, regardless, of what, But you want to make sure you're in the right team, because if you're not, then the other person is dealing with somebody like me, and we're gonna win.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna win. So talking about the team, that was a perfect segue. You see how I'm like leading you into this?
Right.
Tell us about what's the vision that you have for like the Padilla Group in the next 3, maybe even 5 years.
I want us to continue growing, but I want to also create a culture. So, and what I mean by that is I want to be able to create an environment where, for myself, that I feel like I could have a lot more opportunities when I was younger, and I didn't know how to get to those opportunities because I wasn't steered the right way. I like to teach people on I'm very genuine on the things that I believe on that could work for everybody, and the things that I've seen how people become successful. I mean, right now I just turned 30. You're
about to be 30.
You're about to be 30, and how old are you?
32.
Okay, it's 32. We are the youngest, and I've been in real estate for under 5 years. We are the youngest team with the less amount of years, and right now in transaction volume, we're number 3
in our company.
Yeah. So we're talking about people that have been in the business for 20, 15 years, that have moms, dad, brothers, whatever you want to call it, that have been in the business for another 20 years, that passed on the business to them, and we're in that level.
Right.
And we're not in that level because we are lazy or we want everything to come to us. We're in that level because we're hungry, and because I feel like a lot of things that I did started now paying for it.
Yeah.
So my goal is to be able to educate my team members the importance of that, and be able to put that into play, so we could all become like a little army of just realtors. That there's no way that either you're with us or you're not gonna get no business. My dream has always been to be the number 1 real estate agent.
So you want to help people, but not real estate agents.
No,
that are on your team.
That are not on our team.
You know what? No, I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't want to help them. I like to educate people, because there's other realtors that I tell them my opinion on how to become better. But my point is that some agents just don't want to be helped.
Yeah.
And some agents are okay not doing well, because again, back to what we're talking about, they're lazy. Yeah. You can't tell somebody, guys, like, real estate is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple. You just got to do what you have to do every single day. You got to put it to practice. You got to grind. You got to work hard, and then you'll see results. A lot of people are joining real estate thinking like, oh, let me join real estate, make $1 million, and by myself.
And it's, you know what, it sucks because like with the shows like $1 Million Listing, New York, and LA, and then Selling Sunset, right?
Sunset.
So for sure, Selling Sunset is that people have this idea that real estate is glamorous, but the day-to-day is not glamorous, right? the income, the negotiating, yes, but that's like a fraction of what we do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's they people want all the glamour, the fame, and all that stuff.
The glitz, the
Right,
money,
exactly.
the commissions.
But they don't want to do the nitty gritty of the day to day, right? They don't want to go out and door knock. They don't want to follow up. They don't want to do those things.
They don't even answer their phone.
Exactly. I mean, even just showing homes, like showing up to show homes, hosting open houses, like dude, these are the fundamental building blocks that we are trying to focus on, and I feel like a lot of people just don't want to do them.
And guys, also remember this: those shows they record one show and it's a whole year.
Yeah.
You know, you see the next episode, it's like, oh, they're selling another house. No, that took like 5 months.
Yeah.
You know, and then finally so anything in between, you know?
Yeah,
so,
for
and not
sure.
just that, you know, obviously at that point you have it, like, it's just so many things that is not real. You know,
Yeah,
it's really
100%.
not. It's really not real.
That.
There's so much more work to do. And if you are a person that you like to have your own personal space after 5 p.m. and you don't like to get bothered, well, real estate is not for you because you'll get bothered until people don't care about your life. They care about
their deal.
The
they're
results.
getting their house and not losing the deal and seeing houses. And imagine you have 3 clients that want to see on a Sunday when your best friend is inviting you to a birthday party
or a wedding.
And you have 3 clients saying, I can only do Sunday. What are you going to do there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
sure.
And I feel like that's why that road to success, that's what it's talking about, it's a lonely road. Yeah. You know?
Sure. Well, I want to kind of take us to a bigger picture. And where do you see, I mean, there's so much uncertainty in the market, interest rates, the economy.
This is what everyone wants to know about.
Right, bro.
Right now,
everyone
you
is
hear it on the news, you hear it everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's talking about it. What's going on?
Everyone's screaming, crash, 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 crash.
Recession, recession,
right. So
inflation.
Just give us an insight into, you know, your opinion. Obviously, you're free to speak your opinion here.
Yeah, don't sue us.
Yeah, just an opinion. Obviously, like we're in the industry. Just an opinion on what you see, because we're in the day to day. Where do you see the market headed with interest rates, with the economy? Is that crash coming to LA like everyone's expecting it, or do you think that things are gonna kind of keep staying high?
Well, look, there's always gonna be. There's always bear markets and bull markets.
For sure.
What I mean by that is about a 10% increase, 10% decrease, or 20%, or 15, whatever you want to call it, right? So we've been, since 2009, just going up. And because of the pandemic, we shot a lot higher, right? But we forget that how many raises have they raised the minimum wage as well since then, right? So we forget a lot of things like that. I remember, I think 2010, 2008, the minimum wage was like $7.
Yeah, $8 or $9.
Yeah.
Think about it, guys. We're double already.
Almost double, yeah.
We're at
crazy.
15.
Yeah.
So it's not about like the crash like everybody's talking about. So it's obvious that the house have to be cost double. And it's the same as it was before because you got paid $7, $8 a month.
Yeah.
So just by house being double, it's obvious that the houses also have to be double. Now, that's just one thing, right? Another thing is keeping in mind that anybody that bought a home in 2020 has equity.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree on that?
100%.
For sure.
And anybody that buy a house, even at 2021, depending when you bought it, right? And I just want to start saying, I don't want to get too far in 2021 because even then you do have equity. I just sold a duplex in 2020. Actually, it's back in the market, so you guys are looking to buy a duplex for $950 in Sylmar. We sold that one for $735.
Wow.
Guys. And now they put it back in the market at $950. Right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that every single person has equity. Every single person, every single seller has equity. And right now, because the banks are so backed up, because of COVID, because of everything, they haven't been able to kick people out or giving them notice to default.
Right.
You know, all that stuff, right? So with that being said, if we imagine the people that are struggling that bought a house in 2010, to 2019.
Yeah.
They all have equity. Every single one
Yeah.
has
100%.
equity, right? So if you feel like you're a little bit pressure, what do?
You sell.
So
Let me sell and rent for a year.
Yeah.
And you're out of the trouble.
Yeah.
And guess what? You have
Money.
$500,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
300, right? So a lot of people talk about a crash, but what is a crash? Obviously there's a lot of different ways being a crash, but a lot of people crash could be losing. Everybody's losing their jobs,
Right.
and then compared to 2008, everybody losing their jobs, not being able to sell your house because everybody's dropping it down. There's so many foreclosures going on, blah blah blah. So you can't sell it. But keep in mind that in 2008 there was 13 months of inventory. Right now there's only like 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
so technically it's still considered a buyer's market. Now in certain areas it has
Seller's market.
A seller's market. Sorry, it's still considered seller market. So within 0 to 4 months, it's considered seller's market. 4 to 6 months is like a neutral, and 6 and up is a buyer's market. In 2008 was 13 months. It was far right buyer's market. So if you try to sell, how is your house going to stand out?
Yeah.
How? By reducing the price like crazy.
Really low and really nice.
Really low.
Yeah.
Really low. That's how your house is going to sell like this. If not, the house is going to stay in the market for months. And if you're already struggling, you can't pay it, you got to perform, what's the best thing to do? Foreclose.
Yeah.
So we are nothing near 2008.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yes, there's inflation. They've been printing a lot of money. The rates are starting to go up. I agree on that, 100%.
And I think one of the things to keep in mind is I was explaining this to somebody is there's difference in the housing market, there's difference in the stock market, and there's difference in what recession means, and then there's a difference in all those things, right? So a recession, what they consider recession is when GDP is negative for 2 months in a row.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something to think about, and then inflation as a whole. All those are connected, but not connected at the same time, right? So it's just one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, and another quick thing I wanted to add on that is like a lot of people are under the impression that the federal funds rate, so when the Fed raises the rates,
it automatically raises rates for houses.
Right, and then they're not necessarily connected. What affects interest rates is the purchasing of mortgage-backed securities by the Feds.
Yeah.
Right? So if they increase purchasing, rates drop. If they back up in purchasing, rates go up. Right? So right now, the Fed has said, okay, we're slowly backing away from purchasing mortgage-backed securities. And so now rates are starting to climb, right? Because they can't afford, they're trying to clean up their balance sheet. They're trying to clean up their financials, right? So what are they going to do? We're backing slowly away from purchasing mortgage-backed securities. Jerome Powell said recently that he's trying to reset the market, quote unquote, right? So to give buyers an opportunity to purchase something. We'll see how that goes.
And not just that, also they're starting to get creative with loans.
Super, yeah.
And whenever the government tells you, I'm going to help you buy a house, that's usually like alarm signs.
Read the fine print, right? Yeah. Man, when the day they announced about the loan for California, I mean, I must have got a ton of DMs, text messages. Oh my God, they're gonna give you 10%.
And yes, we looked it up.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's qualifications, thresholds, there's limits, income qualifying limits, and the majority of people don't even qualify for those loans. It's crazy.
Well, there was no houses under that price.
Yeah, so it's like, why? Like the market hasn't changed since that rolled out. And I mean, Cal FHA has been around for what? How many years?
They knew what they were doing.
100%. It's a big marketing scheme. They're trying to save everything, but you know what? I totally agree with you, bro. I think I don't see a big crash coming. I think that things are going to stay relatively pretty much where they're at right now. Until if you can raise interest rates, you have to raise interest rates to the level of inflation.
I feel like
they're not going to do that.
I feel like what I'm seeing is there's a couple of more houses hitting the market for sure.
100%.
There's less buyers, so there's easier to negotiate. Not because,
But isn't that like a normal market?
Yes, and not because the houses are gonna drop, but because the houses are already high, and there's only a certain amount of people that are willing to pay for that price points. Again, now it's only been about a month and a half of inventory. That's still pretty fast to sell your house.
Very.
Right?
Yeah.
So even then, that's still really quick. And on top of that, what I mean is there's still a little bit of wiggle room now. Now you could ask, like right now, I was telling you,
closing costs.
3 of my deals, I got $5,000 for my clients. That was unheard of in a year from now.
In 2021, good luck getting closing costs.
You better remove those contingencies.
Or we ask for requests for repairs.
Yeah.
Back then, you want repairs? Cut you off.
Yeah,
you
next buyer.
Matter of fact, the house went up 5% more.
So it was crazy.
You just put it on the market for more.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, all right, you just shut up and you just take it. But now no more. We got $5,000 back for our clients. So you do see a little bit that the market is staying pretty much the same, but at the same time, you're able to negotiate a little bit here on the request for repairs, get $10,000.
So the market is normalizing, which is actually better for buyers.
Yes.
Honestly, don't be scared of the interest rate. If you can afford your payment, I mean, dude, I would say buy because you're going to start building that equity anyways.
And then when the interest rate drops, you just refinance. You
100%.
got a nice house, and then guess what? You drop your payment $500, just like that. And on top of that, keep this in mind, guys. If you're renting, you're paying 100% interest rate. So 7 is not 6 is not too bad.
Yeah.
Say it again.
If you're renting, you're paying 100% interest rate. So.
I love it. All right, so I have my last question here, and I think it's a good way to just kind of wrap this whole thing up for you. Is what's the biggest advice that you would give buyers and sellers right now? We'll start with buyers, but just like a quick little, what's a golden nugget for buyers? What's a golden nugget for sellers that you would give, just to wrap things up?
Long term, you will thank yourself.
For buyers.
That you made the purchase. Long term. I feel like a lot of people tell me, like, I'm about to retire in 10 years. I should not buy a house. I'm not going to pay it off. Who cares? Sell it in 10 years. You cash out with more money.
10 years is a long
You know
time.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, people think they don't have time. There's no point of buying. When you buy a house and you hold it for 10 years, you're not throwing away your money. You're not paying 100% rent.
Right.
You're paying a percentage to the taxes and this. So when you decide to retire, when you decide to pass it down to your kids, when you decide to do something, you have something to be able to go off. If you need loan, you could get a loan on the house. You could do this. So for emergency, there's nothing like buying a house.
That's
so
what I tell people. What a house does, what real estate does, it gives you options.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it gives you options.
There's a good analogy that I use when I talk to my clients. I said, look, the government is already planning a 2% inflation. No matter what, that's their goal. I mean, inflation is through the roof right now, but the feds every year plan on a 2% inflation. So at the bare minimum, if you hold your property for 10 years, that means your home is going to go up in value 20%.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum. Now, mind you,
it's actually a little bit more than that because it's 2% compounded.
Exactly.
And
so
not
including
crazy. For 10 years, you said 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
How much did you pay down your house?
You pay
Exactly.
down the principal, you do
so not only are you gaining 20% over 10 years, just off of inflation alone, but now you're paying down that loan at the same time. Your mortgage, your equity is not growing this way; it's growing this way.
Yeah, right.
Does that make sense? So it's like I just tell people, if you can afford your payment, every time is a good time to buy.
Yeah.
As long as you're comfortable with your payment.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest advice on top of what you're saying is like, just if you can afford the payment, buy whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's the funniest thing to me is people that want to buy and they're so picky.
Yeah.
But then they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to buy. Let me go rent. And they go with any house that they could rent.
Whatever they find.
And spend 5 years there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god.
and pay the top market rent.
I was like, you could have bought an ugly house, wait 5 years, sell it, and make sure anything, like you have so much money to put it down payment on a beautiful house.
Yeah, or
And
just
then
get
you
it.
can get your dream home outside,
Yeah,
right?
or
Yes.
in worst case, buy a condo, fix it up, and then in a few years,
sell it.
yeah,
and
you
then
sell
buy
it.
a better house.
Or you rent it out, and now you use that income to qualify you for the
Exactly.
next purchase.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
guys.
bro, 100%. Well, I mean that wraps up. I really appreciate your time.
The seller advice.
Oh yeah, seller.
Real quick.
Yeah, let's go do that.
So, seller advice, guys. If you're able to pay your principal down every year just by one extra mortgage payment, you will pay off your house in about 21 to 23 years. You save 7 years of mortgage, basically, just by paying one every year about
One extra
mortgage payment, but directly to your principal because you're paying it down a lot more.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do that, go for it. Especially right now, you're paying, let's say, a certain amount of money. You refinance, you're saving $500. Put $300 back into it. Now you're saving $200. You'll pay off your house so much faster. Now, obviously, there's more details if you wanna
for sure
get money, refinance, create an ADU, blah blah blah, to create more income. But if you really want to know more about that, make sure you contact us.
Yeah.
No, it's funny that you mentioned that because when I told my wife when we first bought the house is we're never gonna make the minimum payment. We're always gonna go a little bit above, at least $20, $50 every month that you're paying down on the principal every single month. Why? Because that's gonna take off like at the minimum that I calculated it out. I did the mortgage calculator and all that. If I do $20 every month for whatever, I take off 6 months of payment.
That's what
wow.
I'm
Yeah,
Just
dude.
for $20.
Just $20 every month.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much that is in interest.
Yeah.
For 6 months, you're probably saving yourself like a few $1,000.
Just by doing that simple
You're
thing.
saving like $20,000-$30,000.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So great advice. I really appreciate your time, taking the time to come here and join us.
We're not done.
No, of course. But
Okay.
just, for the little quick interview, we got a little bonus topic at the end.
Bonus round.
Yeah. But, no, seriously, it's great to have you on to give us some insight, your story. And I think a lot of people are curious, about all of those things. So
All right.
that was really good.
Round of applause.
Yeah. And now the bonus, you want to introduce
Bonus round. All right. So here at BeeRE Talks, we pride ourselves on being a little geeky. So we're into Marvel, we're into DC,
Star Wars.
We had.
You don't even know.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
We didn't prep him, so
some of our old other guests have done some weird stuff where they were into newspapers and collecting weird stuff.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
What are you into? What is a weird little thing that you're into?
Do you have anything that you geek
I know one of them.
What's one of them?
The dancing?
Well, you tell us. Tell us.
Whoa.
I know your collection.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, what collection? I haven't heard this.
How do you know?
Tell us about it.
Okay, so I mean,
is it toenails?
No. It's not that weird.
Oh, okay.
No, so I do love Marvel. So by the way, I literally have gone. I'm a big fan. I have gone to the first Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Especially the pandemic. The whole
Chronicle.
Yeah. All right. This is how I know you're a Marvel fan.
Okay.
Did you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yes.
All of it?
Yeah,
you're a real Marvel fan.
I've seen a lot. I seen them all. So I really have gone from all the Marvel. I have gone the Adventures.
Yeah.
All of the Adventures. So I have also watched. Right now we're watching X-Men. I also watch Star Wars.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
So I was like background noise, but anyways, I like to watch shows. And that's like the nighttime thing.
For sure.
Wind down.
Wind down with my wife. We just like to chill, watch a bunch.
Wait, so where's this collection that you
talking
about? I'm curious.
So my collection is I actually started collecting the Funko Pops.
Oh, really?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z? Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
One of the homes we're in escrow on, one of the bedrooms, the kids,
there's a bunch of
Funko Pop everywhere, just the whole wall, all kinds of crazy stuff.
One of the other ones was actually they had fucking maybe 1,500 puzzles.
Oh,
They had like a big old stack, maybe 5x6, this tall, of just puzzles.
That's
Just
nuts.
stacked up.
All types
Like
of puzzles.
finished?
Disney puzzles. No, just boxes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Man, they were pretty cool if they were off.
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I love
So,
that. So
yeah.
I love Dragon Ball Z because it's like I feel like as a little kid, it used to inspire me to like level
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Love it.
For 20 minutes.
Pretend you're Goku in the shower.
My hair never turned yellow, you know.
Calm, man.
You know, like, so I love that.
Cool.
Now, when I watched Star Wars, I never watched Star Wars until like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Everything.
I finished it about maybe 2 years ago.
So I became a fan.
Oh, I've been
One of
into
my
it for a
favorite is
while.
BB-8.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I'm watching. Right now is
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
Did you finish
Dude,
it?
did you finish
Well,
it?
yesterday another one came out, right?
Yeah.
No,
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday.
The
So
finale.
Shit, I don't know what they were
Yeah,
on.
Dude,
yesterday.
the
It's every
finale.
Friday.
Oh, the finale gave me
So
chills.
right now I'm watching it. Actually, it was already very late, so I didn't finish it. I started watching it with Obi-Wan was going up against
Darth Vader?
Darth Vader or
Dude. Oof.
Anakin.
The finale was
Anakin.
amazing. I loved it.
So that's where I'm at
Yeah.
right now. But I love it. I you
So,
know,
are you watching Miss Marvel? That's the other show.
which
The
one?
new one. It
I
just started.
watched the first one.
All right,
So Miss Marvel is with a girl. She's the Muslim.
Thor.
No, not
No,
Thor.
no.
Miss
Do you
Miss
know
Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
So they made a show. It just came out on Disney Plus maybe
Yeah.
3-4 weeks ago.
Like 3 weeks
It's
ago.
called
Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
Dude, they're
So-
coming up with all these things now.
They're expanding the
So
whole.
we'll
Bro,
miss-
now they're
miss-
doing the Thor, the girl Thor.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was
So
like,
That looks
well, I
pretty
haven't
dope.
seen
That
Thor
looks pretty
yet.
dope.
I haven't seen Thor yet, but
Well, because
Miss
it hasn't
Marvel.
come out.
No, I know. Obviously, yeah. But I'm saying like Miss Marvel. I really like it. It's so cool. The culture aspect, like the way they're just bringing in all kinds of stuff, like, and supposedly Miss Marvel is going to be connected to like everybody. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be dope.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you geek out on the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Funko
I
Pops.
have
Funko
like
Pops, yeah.
20 of those.
Okay.
I don't have like crazy, but like my goal is like when I buy one of my dream houses, I want to be able to have like a game room with my boys.
One of his dream houses.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
like
that?
a big one.
of
Like
them.
this is gonna be nothing but game room where I want to have like a pool table, have a big ass TV,
Yeah.
to have my boys over and just be playing video games or just.
That's cool.
You know, I don't even own a console right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know, just as a guy, you know, I just want
The
to.
best I get is my iPad. Just play on my
Yeah,
iPad.
Dude, I have a Nintendo Switch. My son plays it.
Yeah?
I rarely
What
play
game do
it.
you play?
He just plays Mario Kart and Minecraft. All right, guys. This has been Beer Talks.
Yeah, we're just wrapping it up. Again, we want to thank Luis. Any finishing last little thoughts that you want to put into it?
Give us a zinger. Give us something.
I feel like I already gave you guys a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to-
That's what we tell our clients. I feel like I already gave you guys a lot, but I'm going to give you more.
Yeah.
Exactly. But how about you guys call us and we'll give you a little bit more, you know. But anyways, I just feel like, guys, just follow your dreams. I definitely believe that you can never go wrong in real estate. And, you know, if you have any questions, make sure you give us a call.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like and subscribe. Let us know. We'll post all our stuff.
Thanks, you guys.
Follow Luis on
Instagram.
Luis Lives.
Or
At
Luis
Luis Lives
Padilla.
on Instagram. What else you
Luis
got?
Padilla,
Or the
Facebook.
Padilla Group. At the Padilla Group. Check us out.
Yeah.
You got anything else going on that you want to plug?
No, just selling homes every day.
Yeah. Follow our Instagrams to check out all of our new listings, open houses coming up this weekend, and all of our just sold.
Yes. Take care,
Yeah.
guys.